Happy Monday, Shred Nation. My name is Camilla Hunt, and I am here for our Diamond of the Week videos. And today I'll be talking to you guys about how I got to Beachbody and how I stay connected to my why. So I have had 2 kids, and with each pregnancy came 85 pounds each. I was tipping the scale at 215 when I gave birth. My daughter was born in 2011, and right after that, I knew I was done having babies, so I signed up for CrossFit because CrossFit was just coming to the scene back then. It was gaining really great popularity, and I knew that it would be that really badass way to lose weight. So I got a bunch of my friends together. I had a family friend who had just given birth probably 2 weeks before Cameron was born, and we all joined CrossFit. And CrossFit is very expensive. I ended up staying there for 3 years, got into really great shape. I was at about a 16% body fat. I just dropped the weight really quickly, but something that was just killing me inside was, one, the price of CrossFit. It was near $300 a month for my husband and I to go. And it was also costing me a lot of time away from home. Now, my husband and I wouldn't ever go to class together because, of course, they didn't have childcare, so it'd be one or the other, and we would be switching off. We would miss each other, and we would miss our kids. So I just knew that there had to be another way of getting fit. But also, with the type of personality I have, I'm kind of an all or nothing type person. I got into this great shape, and I was like, what is the next step in my fitness? What is the epitome of fitness? And at that time, all these fitness models were all coming up on Instagram. You know, you saw these blinged out bikinis and these clear heels, and I was like, I want to do that. I'm not that far from these women. Let me kind of try this out. So I purchased a plan from a virtual coach I found on Instagram. It wasn't, that I think about it, it wasn't the most personal method that I chose, or I didn't have that connection or relationship with my coach at the time. And I did it for about 6-7 months. I was in the gym at about 4 a.m. in the morning to get on my train by 6 to be at work by 7. And it was grueling. I was eating very little and working out very hard. Took fat burners and all of these different things that you see on the shelves at GNC. I was trying them, and my turning point was me going to a lunch with my husband, and I was about 5 hours out from my last meal, and I was eating about every 3 hours at that time. And on my way to our table after the hostess picked us up, I fainted. I blacked out, like my vision went blank. That wasn't the first time my vision had gone blank, but my vision went blank, and I just dropped to my knees, and I couldn't see. I was just like calling my husband's name, and I remember just dropping to my knees, and that was really scary. And my husband just pleaded with me. He was like, no more. Like, you can't do this anymore to yourself. And, I'm not knocking other competitors or bodybuilders or things like that, but I was just not in a mentally good state to take something on as intense as that. So I quit my bikini prep, and I hated myself. I had announced on Instagram that I was going to do this crazy thing that hardly anyone gets to do or has the mental capacity to do, and I failed, and I felt like a failure. I developed bulimia. I developed, just really a poor relationship with food, with myself, with my body, and I gained about 25 to 30 pounds in the span of 2 months, and that can definitely take its toll on your body. I never have had acne, but I was like breaking out. I was irritable. I was moody. I hated myself. Until I found Rob on Instagram, and Rob at the time was doing the Ultimate Reset, and I knew after doing some research that was going to be something that I needed to undo all that that damage that had done to my body, metabolically. So I messaged him, we got to talking, and I purchased the Ultimate Reset with a best friend. We both did it. I lost 15 pounds. And throughout that whole time, Rob was like the greatest cheerleader. Like, here he was, he didn't even know me, and I'm like sending him progress photos. When I purchased my coach's program for my bikini prep, it would take her like, emailing was the only way to get to her. She never gave her number out, and I would email her questions and it would take her 3 to 4 days to get back to me. And the level of the customer service level that Rob showed me, the encouragement that Rob showed me, was enough for me to say, oh my gosh, this is legit. And when I finished the Ultimate Reset, I remember asking him, well, what do I do now? Because I didn't want to lose that connection, because it had done so much for me in those 21 days of the Ultimate Reset. So that's how I came to BeachBody. Then he was like, let's get Shakeology in your body. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, with your CrossFit background, you'll like this. So I purchased the Asylum, because he built that trust with me. And I knew that I wasn't going to go anywhere, because I liked how I felt and I wanted to pay it forward. And I had that passion for helping and guiding others through fitness. You know, naturally, I have the type of personality to share, and I knew that this was a really cool way of doing that. I referred about 25 people to the CrossFit gym I was at, and it was just awesome. So that is how I started with BeachBody. How I stay connected to my why is, have you guys ever heard Tony Robbins speak on what motivates you is what pisses you off and what excites you the most? Well, something that really pisses me off is not being able to be there for my kids. Okay, so just to give you a rundown of my morning, our mornings are usually this way. I get up at 4:30, I get my workout in, I'm in the shower by about 5:15. My kids are up as soon as I get out of the shower. My kids are up at 5:20, which is a lot earlier than a lot of adults are. And this is solely because I have to be at work in San Francisco, which is about 45 minutes away from me, and I have to hop on a train by about 6:15. So that is what pisses me off. No child should ever have to wake up that early, because their mom has to commute to work. My mom and my dad, bless their heart, they've always worked in San Francisco, so I don't remember seeing a lot of my parents growing up, because they were always providing for us, and that's definitely not what I want for my children. So that is my why. I let it piss me off because it fuels me. I let the excitement of me hitting a different benchmark in my business, like 2-star is on my radar for July. I let that excite me because that's what drives my business. I let so many things like emotionally fulfill me, either in a negative way or a positive way, that if I don't reach my goals, it's gonna just, like, everything is gonna fall apart. And that's kind of how I think about it. I know that's more of a dramatic way, but I let things that piss me off fuel me, and I let things that excite me fuel me. So that's how I definitely stay connected to my why. I kiss my kids every morning when I drop them off at their grandpa's house, because he takes them to school. I kiss them every morning and I say, Mommy's not going to be doing this for much longer, and you guys, Mommy's going to be the one that picks you up and takes you home. I don't want to have to worry about using PTO when my kids are sick. I want to be present. I want to be fully invested in their learning. So that is definitely what keeps me connected to my why. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm excited to be here with you guys for the rest of the week, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Happy Monday!